Yeah. sea by the dawn's early light. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars to the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, where so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, napalm's bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hello, folks, and thanks for joining us once again at Coburn Park. I'm Dan Cooter here on NewarkPilots.tv, and it's a Western Division matchup as the Geneva Red Wings come to town for the 7th meeting of the year between these two teams. They've split the first 6 games as the home team has prevailed in every single game so far this year. We'll see if the Red Wings can change that or if the Pilots can stay hot. They're on a 3-game winning streak after the 7-4 victory at Dunfield last night against the Elmira Pioneers. And they're right back in the thick of it in the playoff hunt, as it's the right-hander, Ryan Marketzel, who will be on the mound tonight to start things off for the Pilots. He'll go up against Jared Sasaki on the mound for the Red Wings. For the Pilots, obviously a big victory last night as they put 3 together. It's their first win streak of the year as they won back-to-back for the first time and then added another one to it. And so it's 3 for them. Geneva trying to get back in the win column after a 14-5 loss to the league-leading Jamestown Jammers, and that's been a familiar theme with these 3 teams, Elmira, Geneva, and Newark, as they have had troubles with that Jamestown team, as Elmira, Geneva, and Newark all chasing after that final playoff spot, as it's the first 2 teams from each division that make it. And as we enter, Geneva holds that spot at 14-19. Elmira is 13-19, and Newark sits at 11-19. Red Wings, as we mentioned, on a 1-game losing streak, as Marketzel tosses out the first pitch. As McLaughlin is your home plate umpire tonight, McKenzie is your field umpire, as Marketzel misses with ball 1 to start things off here tonight. Carnavelli will send one into left field and has himself a leadoff base hit off of Marketzel. Nick Carnavelli plays his college baseball at Brookdale from Lyndhurst, New Jersey, in the leadoff spot tonight for the Red Wings. And he has himself a base hit to start things off here tonight. It'll bring Tanner Murray to the plate. Murray, the shortstop tonight for the Red Wings from Ben Lamont, California, plays at UC Davis along with the pitcher we'll see tonight. Carnavelli's taken off for second. It's a good throw. Can they get the tag? Yes, they can. And the leadoff single goes to waste as Nick Carnavelli tries to steal second. And Alex Hernandez, the catcher tonight for the Pilots, with the pickoff play down at second. Big sigh of relief there from Ryan Marketel on the mound after giving up the leadoff base hit. Hernandez bails him out with a beautiful throw. And so with one gone, Murray steps back in. He hits one to right and has himself a base hit. So the first two batters get hits here tonight for the Red Wings as it's a single to right from the shortstop, Tanner Murray.
Now batting out of Lincoln University, Pennsylvania, number 18, catcher Zach Miller.
Red Wings will try and not let this base hit go to waste as it's the catcher Zach Miller in the third spot. He'll be followed by Nick Nebraska and Harris and Jackson, who's in the DH spot. Jared Gillis, Justin Barr, and Trustin Riley will round out the order here tonight for the Geneva Red Wings. Miller fouls that one right off the bottom of the barrel. Is behind in the count now, 0-1 to Marketel. Zach Miller, the catcher tonight from Lincoln University, Pennsylvania, plays at Delaware University as Marketel misses with the off-speeder. For Ryan Marketel, the 6'5" right-hander from Webster, New York, it's his fifth start on the mound and seventh appearance overall with the Pilots. He's looking for a better outing as the last three have been a little shaky as he misses with a fastball inside and low as it's a 2-1 count to Zach Miller. His last appearance was in the 12-6 loss to Watertown back on the 8th of July as he gave up 3 earned runs on 2 hits and walked 3 batters. McLaughlin gives him the call on the inside corner, and so it's a 2-2 count now to Miller. He has Tanner Murray over on first as there's one gone early on here in the top of the first between the Red Wings and Pilots. Off speeder, chopper right back in the mound. Marketel drops it, picks it up, and the toss over to first is in time. And so Marketel able to get the easy out at first as there's 2 gone now here in the top of the first.
Now batting out of Du Bois, Pennsylvania, number 31, first baseman Nick Nebraska.
Nick Nebraska, along with Zach Miller, who we just saw, will be heading off to the All-Star game next week on Wednesday night in Elmira. Nick Nebraska hitting .348 on the season so far as he makes his 26th appearance. The first baseman from Du Bois, Pennsylvania, plays at Youngstown State. As Tanner Murray over on scoring position at second with 2 gone now. Marketel misses in the dirt, but Hernandez on both his knees is able to keep it in front of him. .2-0 count after Marketel misses with a pair of fastballs low. And Nebraska ready to go. He swings at this one, but it's chopped foul off to the right. And it moves the count to 2-1. Nick Nebraska was 0 for 4 at the plate, was able to reach on a walk in the 14-5 loss to Jamestown. It was a 9-run inning in the 5th by the Jammers that really opened up that game for them last night in Jamestown as Marketel gets a breaking ball to fall for a strike 2, and so it evens the count at 2-2 to Nebraska as he tries to keep the inning alive here for the Red Wings. So they've gotten 2 early hits off of Marketel. Murray over at second, breaking ball. Nebraska hits it left, and it's going to fall. Murray rounding for home. There won't be a throw, and it's an RBI single for Nick Nebraska as the Red Wings are on the board.
Now batting out of Watsonville, California, number 20, center fielder Jack Harris.
Nick Nebraska shows why he's going to the All-Star game as it's a beautiful at-bat as he hits a 2-2 fastball into left, right in between Torres and Kent down there at shortstop. So we saw the leadoff man Nick Carnavelli put one right in that similar area. And this one's chopped high in the air by Harris. Underneath it is Bailey, and he's able to make the catch for the final out. So the Red Wings strand one on 3 hits, but they get a run as they lead 1-0. Pilots coming up on the home side of the first when we come back from Colburn Park. We welcome you back in here to Colburn Park. Dan Cooter with the call here tonight on Newark Pilots TV. Red Wings were able to get one on an RBI single from the first baseman and PG BCL All-Star Nick Nebraska as they take a 1-0 lead over the Pilots heading to the home side of the first. And it's the right-hander from Huntington Beach, California, Jared Suzuki, who will be on the mound tonight for the Red Wings as he makes his first start with Geneva after just recently signing with the team. So for Newark, obviously their first look at him. As we mentioned, the 7th meeting of the year between these two teams as the home team has taken every game to this point. The last meeting, Geneva was able to win 9-5 at McDonough Park. So we've seen a couple of blowouts between these two teams. Newark was able to take one here at Colburn Park, 12-2. And then the 17-4 drubbing by the Red Wings at McDonough Park a while back now. It's Parker Tadlock who leads things off for the Pilots tonight. And he has really found a home at that top of the order, hitting .406 on the year now. As Suzuki gets a fastball to fall in for strike one as it's a 1-1 count to the left fielder tonight from Georgetown, Texas. It was another multi-hit game for Tadlock as he was 2 for 5 in the 7-4 win over Elmira. As he chops this one foul off to the right and is behind in the count now 1-2. In his last 8 games, he has had 7 multi-hit appearances, and 4 straight he's been able to accomplish that now. Here's a 1-2 count from Sasaki. In on the hands, he chops it down to the shortstop, Murray. He's able to corral it and make the play over to first for out number 1.
Now batting out of Portland, New York, number 11, center fielder, Dawson Bailey.
And so with the leadoff man retired, it's the center fielder, Dawson Bailey, in the second spot tonight. He'll be fouled by Jared DeSantolo. The DH is Alan Murphy, and then Griffin Robinson, Alex Hernandez, and Grady Wright, who is down at first base tonight. The shortstop is Nick Kent, and rounding out the order is the third baseman, Giovanni Torres. Suzuki misses with this one inside, so it's ball 1 to Dawson Bailey. Plays at Niagara University from Porter, New York. 1-0. Right down the middle as Bailey looks at it. And so it's a 1-1 count after the strike on the fastball from Suzuki. 1-1 is a breaking ball, and it's chopped foul for strike 2. Suzuki, who pitches at UC Davis, stands at 6'5" on the mound. So a pair of 6'5" kids starting on the mound for both sides tonight. There's the 1-2 now to Bailey. Just high as Zach Miller, the catcher tonight for the Red Wings in the outfield, It's Gillis, Harrison, Riley left to right. And then Bars at third, Murray at short, Carnavelli at second, and Nebraska is at first. Bailey swings at this one and misses. And so it's 2 up and 2 down for Sasaki here in the bottom half of the first.
Second baseman, Jared DeSantolo.
First K of the evening for Sasaki. And Jared DeSantolo will step in, and Sasaki is ready to go on the mound. He's been in that position for a good 5 seconds before DeSantolo was able to get in the box. And he throws an off-speeder in. It's a whiff from DeSantolo for strike one. DeSantolo, the second baseman, he was named to the All-Star team, along with Parker Tadlock, who we saw in that leadoff spot tonight for the Pilots. 2 swing and misses from Jared DeSantolo has him quickly behind it, 0-2. As Sasaki looks for the 1-2-3 inning here. This is with a fastball outside for Sasaki. He made 13 starts in his freshman year with UC Davis. 16 appearances overall, had a 4-6 record. The 1-2 is low, and it evens the count at 2-2. Sasaki had a 4.34 ERA as he pitched just over 76 innings, pardon me. There's the 2-2. It's chopped down to the second baseman now. It's a tough play to first, and he's going to beat it out. Little miscommunication there. It looked like Nick Nebraska was going to make the play, but he backed off, and it put Carnavelli in a difficult spot as he had to throw that one from his butt. And could not make the play to first in time, and so Jared DeSantolo is aboard with 2 gone. And it brings Alan Murphy to the plate, another all-star for the Pilots this year. Murphy, he hits one right to the second baseman, Carnavelli. He'll top it over to the second, and that'll do it. So Sasaki gives up a hit here, but unscathed as the Red Wings lead 1-0 after 1 inning of play here at Colburn Park. We'll be right back between the Red Wings and the Pilots. A 1-0 lead for the Geneva Red Wings after 1 inning of play here at Colburn Park. Ryan Mercantile gave up an earned run on 3 hits in the top of the first. Sasaki gave up that 1 infield single to Jared DeSantolo in the bottom half of the first, but was able to get out of the inning and carry a 1-0 lead. As it's the DH Austin Jackson, as it's the 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for the Red Wings here. In the top half of the second, it was an RBI single by Nick Nebraska in the first inning that put the Red Wings up 1-0. Ryan Marketzel from Webster, New York, continues now on the mound. He gets a swing and a miss on the foul tip right into the glove of Hernandez for strike 1. As we mentioned with Marketzel, looking for a stronger start as his last 3. He has struggled mightily. His last win, and only win, he has a 1-2 record, came right here against Geneva in the 7-1 win. A 2-1 count after 2 straight balls from Marketzel here to the DH Jackson. He went 6 innings, only gave up 1 earned run on 8 hits in the 7-1 win over Geneva. He misses low, and it's a 3-1 count now to Jackson. Austin Jackson from Ukiah, California, plays at Mendocino Community College. There's a 3-1 count to lead things off here in the top half of the second. And it misses low. And it's a free pass for Jackson, as McLaughlin just couldn't give him the call, just a little too low. And I think Austin Jackson might have thought it was a strike at first, but he gets his base, and so the leadoff man is walked here, the first of the evening, issued by Marketel. The left fielder, Jared Gillis, will stand in now, and he chops one right down to DeSantolo at second. Double play ball, not going to happen, as DeSantolo could not make the flip, and Gillis, with some wheels, able to beat out the throw. They do get the out at second, but Gillis is safe over at first, as there's one gone now. The fielder's choice allows Jared Gillis to reach, and it brings up the number 8 hitter tonight for the Red Wings, Justin Barr from Pensacola, Florida, who plays at Central Alabama. This one chopped right to Marketel. He'll go to second with it. It's an errant throw, and Gillis is going to be safe. And it's going to be an E1 charge to Ryan Marketel, as it allows both runners to get in safely. It's the second time Marketel has struggled with the ball hit right back to him on the mound. We saw in the first inning, he was able to pick one up that he dropped and was able to make the play at first, but he elected to go to second here, and the throw was off target and allows Gillis to get in safely. So with runners on first and second, it's the bottom of the order with Justin Riley. One-0 count, now 2-0. Hernandez wanted to throw down to second as he had Gillis well off the bag, but no one was there to catch the throw, and so Hernandez pumps it back in, and it's a 2-0 count to Riley. Riley, the right fielder tonight from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, plays at Tampa University. Marketel the check down to second, and the 2-0. It's chopped right to Kent at shortstop to second. The play to first. Got him. Double play ball, and it's a big one, as the Pilots get out of the inning, and the Red Wings strand 2 here in the top half of the second. They lead 1-0. Bottom of the second here at Coburn Park. I'm Dan Cooter, welcoming you back in. It's kind of an overcast day here at Coburn Park as the sun trying to peek its way through the clouds, as the right-hander Sasaki is able to get a strike to fall as Griffin Robinson leads things off. Robinson, the right fielder tonight for the Pilots from Shawnee, Kansas. Sent one inside, and so it's a 1-1 count now. Robinson, who plays at St. Louis, batting .273 on the season as he makes his 15th appearance with the Pilots. This one gets him in the elbow, and Robinson will get the free pass down to first as he is hit by Sasaki. So similar to what the Red Wings were able to do in the top half of the second, the Pilots are able to get their leadoff man on by way of a hit pitch. Red Wings were able to get on a walk. But nevertheless, Robinson is aboard, and it's the catcher, Alex Hernandez. Hernandez will look at strike one here from Sasaki. Alex Hernandez, it's his 19th appearance with the Pilots this year, batting .242. The catcher from Pembroke Pines, Florida, plays at Nova Southeastern, looks at two straight strikes here from Sasaki as that one catches the upstairs portion of the plate. Hernandez from some displeasure on that call, but still alive here, 0-2. Breaking ball hit right to the shortstop, Murray. Could be two, and it easily will be. And so Hernandez grounds into the double play ball, and there's quickly two gone. So the Pilots return the favor after the Red Wings hit into a double play to end the inning. And it's Grady Wright, the first baseman, who draws into the lineup tonight. Wright, it's his 17th appearance of the year. His last coming back on July 6th, and the 12-0 loss to Jamestown. He was 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts at the plate. Wright hits one deep into right center. Looking back at the wall. See ya! Grady Wright, a solo home run, and the Pilots tie it up at 1. Grady Wright, some power. His first home run as a Pilot. And he ties this game up at 1. He loves it. Trustin Riley kissed it goodbye as it cleared the wall by a good amount. And so it's, with two gone, Sasaki gives up the solo shot to right. And it's a 1-1 ball game. Nick Kent will come to the plate, and he throws down a bunt, but it skips off the grass and goes foul down the third baseline. Trying to catch the Red Wings infield by surprise. As we mentioned, Grady Wright, it's his first home run as a Pilot, as he was hitless. There's the 0-1 now to Nick Kent. Breaking ball finds the lower half, as Kent is quickly behind 0-2. Sasaki into the windup with the 0-2 offering now. It's a breaking ball that Kent flies out the right. Riley's got to chase it down. He's not able to make the play, but it does fall foul. A long run for the right fielder, Trustin Riley, as he just looked at a home run go right over his head. Tried to make the catch on that one, but just not there in the nick of time. So the count will remain 0-2 to Kent. Kent, a swing and a miss, gets Sasaki out of the inning, but it's a solo home run by Grady Wright that ties us all up at 1 as we head to the top of the third here at Colburn Park. Top of the third here between the Red Wings and the Pilots. A run from each team has this tied at 1. As Nick Carnavelli takes a swing at the first pitch he sees and drives it into left. And is 2 for 2 in the evening now. Pair of base hits for Nick Carnavelli. He was thrown out trying to steal second when he led off the game. We'll see if he's a little more hesitant over at first now. But regardless, he is 2 for 2 in the evening now. Murray, who was 1 for 1 with a single, came around to score the only run for Geneva so far tonight. Murray, the shortstop, plays at UC Davis along with the pitcher, Sasaki. Murray making his 10th appearance of the year with Geneva. Is batting .244 with 3 RBIs on the season. 2 balls to start Murray off from Marketel, so it's a 2-0 count. 4th of the evening for the Red Wings, out hitting the Pilots 4-2. The only error was by Ryan Marketel after a bobble on the mound and an error throw to second. This one hit deep to left. Charging back as Tadlock, looking up. Gone off the scoreboard. It's a 2-run shot to left by Murray, and that one was gone by a while, and the Red Wings take a 3-1 lead. Second home run we've already seen here by both of these teams at Colburn Park tonight.
Now batting out of Lincoln University, Pennsylvania, number 18, the catcher, Zach Miller.
It's Murray's 3rd home run of the season with the Red Wings. He shows his power at the plate there. And the 2-run home run puts the Red Wings up 3-1. Miller gets a hold of this one into left. Tadlock charging after it in foul territory, and it'll escape over the wall. And it'll be strike 1 to the catcher. Top of the order coming through so far tonight for the Red Wings is Carnavelli and Murray, both 2 for 2 now. Miller sends one down the third baseline. So he's gotten around on the first 2 pitches he's seen, is behind 0-2 now. For Tanner Murray, he picks up his 4th and 5th RBIs of the season. He was 1 for 5 last night. Pardon me, he did not appear last night in the loss. This one foul, and Robinson's not able to make a play on it as it escapes foul. So the count remains 0-2 to Miller. Still none gone here after the 2-run shot by Murray. And now a swing and a miss from Miller. This one's in the dirt. Hernandez will have to throw down to first. And it's in time to right for out number 1.
Now batting out of DuPont, Pennsylvania.
Miller now 0 for 2 after the strikeout. As Nick Lebraska, the first baseman, comes back up, had an RBI single back in the first that put the Red Wings up 1-0. They lead 3-1 now. As Marketel tosses in a strike on the inside corner. It's a 0-1 count now to Lebraska. Breaking ball. Did Lebraska go around? McKenzie says no, and so it's a 1-1 count. Nick Lebraska, as we mentioned, is heading to the All-Star game next Wednesday at Dunn Field in Elmira. So he makes his 26th appearance of the year, hitting .348. He can't check his swing on that one, though, and is behind now 1-2. Lebraska, 14 RBIs for him in the year. Here's the 1-2. It's in on the hands, and Lebraska is able to lay off, and the count goes even at 2-2. For the Pilots, as we mentioned, it's Tadlock, DeSantolo. And a breaking ball misses inside. Trent Baker, the pitcher, and Alan Murphy, who has been solid to say the least at the plate. And another home run last night. Will be going to the All-Star game. A full count payoff pitch as a swing and a miss from Nebraska for out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ryan Marcatel after giving up the 2-run home run to Tanner Murray. Much like Tristan Riley did in right field, Park Tadlock stared at it as it smacked off the scoreboard here at Colburn Park. Tadlock, the 5'8" left fielder, not much of a chance to get that one. 1-0 count turns into a 2-0 here as this one misses in the dirt to Harris. Jack Harris batting in the 5th spot tonight for the Red Wings from Watsonville, California, plays at San Francisco State. Marcatel with the 0-2, the 2-0, pardon me, catches the corner. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Jack Harris. Harris, the center fielder tonight for the Red Wings. Looks at ball 3 and gets himself into a hitter's count now at 3-1. Breaking ball. Harris looks at it for strike 2 as the count pushes full. It's a 3-1 Red Wings lead here with 2 gone in the top of the 3rd. Marcatel looking to get out of the inning. Here's the payoff. It's a breaking ball. Harris, a good eye to lay off of it, and he'll get his free pass to first.
Now batting out of Geneva, California, number 13, designated hitter, Austin Jackson.
Second walk of the evening for Ryan Marcatel. The other walk came to the DH, Austin Jackson, who is at the plate now. So with the man on, first pitch, chopped down to Torres, able to make the play to second. And that'll do it for the top of the 3rd. A 2-run home run by Tanner Murray puts the Red Wings up 3-1. We head to the home side of the 3rd when we come back between the Red Wings and the Pilots.
In Connecticut, number 1, 3rd baseman, Giovanni Torres.
Bottom of the order for the Pilots as it's Giovanni Torres, the 3rd baseman in the 9th spot tonight for Newark. Pilots trailing the Red Wings 3-1 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Red Wings out hitting the Pilots 5-2. He's seen a pair of home runs already. It was a solo home run by Grady Wright. Back in the 2nd inning, they got the Pilots on the board. Tanner Murray returned the favor in the top of the 3rd with a 2-run home run to left field. Torres from North Haven, Connecticut, plays at Bates College, looks at ball 1 inside from Sasaki, who starts his 3rd inning of work. Torres, this one off the top of the bat and foul, evens the count up at 1-1. Torres, as he makes his 17th appearance of the year, as a 1.35 batting average. It's 5 hits in 37 appearances and is behind in the count 1-2. Torres is hitless in his last 3. He was strong in the 7-5 win over Geneva back on July 2nd. He was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs on the night. There's the 1-2, and McLaughlin calls time as Sasaki was in the windup, but he's able to hold off and keep the glove in the mitt as we'll reset things here. Torres into the batter's box, and we're ready to go. 1-2, swung down the third baseline. Barr takes a peek at it, but it goes just foul as Torres just a little too far in front of it. Another 1-2 here from Sasaki. In on the hands, Torres fouls it off and keeps the count at 1-2. Torres has been walked 12 times on the season, struck out 19. Another 1-2 from Sasaki. Goes with the breaking ball, and it's hit the left over the head of Murray as he looked like he would have a play on maybe, but just over the glove, and a great at-bat from Torres as the leadoff man is aboard for the Pilots.
Now batting out of Georgetown, Texas, number 2, left fielder, Parker Tadlock.
Some oohs and ahs from the crowd. They thought Murray maybe came down with that one, but very close. Parker Tadlock was 2 for 5 last night. Yep. Tadlock, who was 0 for 1 in the evening, grounded out, as we mentioned. Another multi-hit game for him last night at Dunn Field. So he looks at ball 1 low from Sasaki. After the 2-hit game last night, it bumped Tadlock up to 39 hits on the season as he makes his 29th appearance of the year with Newark. Holds off on one that was a little outside, but it falls in for strike 1. Tadlock didn't like the pitch. Torres only has 1 stolen base on the season. We'll see how much of a threat he is at first as Sasaki takes a peek, and it gets away from the first baseman, Nebraska. Torres all the way down to second. He takes a peek, and now he'll try and go to third. The throw not in time, and Giovanni Torres gets all the way into third after the errant throw down to first by the pitcher, Sasaki. Torres looked like he was going to stand into second, and he took a peek over his shoulder and saw Nebraska didn't even have the ball yet, and so he took off for third and got there in plenty of time. So it's the first error of the night for the Red Wings. It'll be an error charge to Sasaki. And it puts a runner all the way over at third now with none gone here in the bottom of the third. Great opportunity for the Pilots to get a couple runs back as they trail 3-1. This one in the dirt, and Miller does a good job to get down on his knees and keep it in front of him as that pitch missed mightily from Sasaki. Miller, as we mentioned, Parker Tadlock does exactly what is needed. It was just enough for Torres to tag. And the throw at plate, it was accurate. It just wasn't hard enough as Zach Miller never was able to get a tag on Torres as he slid in safely. And so with 1 gone, Dawson Bailey will come back to the plate. He struck out in his first plate appearance. Bailey shows bunt, but isn't able to connect on it, so it's strike 1 to the center fielder. Sasaki misses with this one. He evens the count at 1-1. Bailey, this one chopped to the shortstop. Murray's charging. It's going to be a tough play, but he's able to make it as he had to peek over his left and then right shoulder to track that ball down, but he's able to make the play at short for out number 2. Jared DeSantolo, another all-star selection for the Pilots. 1 for 1 with a single. It was an infield single that got him aboard back in the first inning. This one chopped down to the first baseman, Nebraska, but just foul as Connor McKenzie calls it foul. down there at first base. DeSantolo hitting well above 300 at 338 now. So he has 25 hits and 74 at-bats. Was 2 for 5 last night in the win over Elmira. Came across to score twice and had an RBI. He smacks this one down to the shortstop Murray. He's able to field it and make the play over to first for out number 3. And so the sac fly to center turns out to be the only run of the inning for the Pilots. They trail the Red Wings 3-2 as we head to the top of the 4th. Tightly contested ball game to this point, 3-2. Red Wings lead in this divisional clash between the Red Wings and the Pilots. As we mentioned, playoff implications starting to come and unfold here in this Western Division as the Pilots have strung together 3 consecutive wins as the Red Wings are coming off a loss to the Jamestown Jammers 14-5 last night. Jared Gillis leads things off here in the top of the 4th. He chops one up the center, and it's going to fall through the second baseman at shortstop for a base hit. Red Wings have gotten their leadoff man on now in all 4 innings. It's a base hit to center by Jared Gillis. And it brings Justin Barr, the third baseman, to the plate. He was able to reach on an error back in the second inning. Runners going. The bunt laid down. Going to be a tough play, and it won't even happen as Barr with a great bunt right in that no man's land area where Torres and Marketel could not reach it. And there's runners on first and second now. So Justin Barr lays down the beautiful bunt and allows him to reach. And now Riley will throw down the bunt. Charging in his right at first. He takes a peek, and now the throw. Not in time. Wow. DeSantolo just was not there. And Wright had to pump it. And I'm not sure who the error will be charged to, but that's just sloppy infielding by the Pilots, and it allows the bases to get loaded with none gone now here in the top of the 4th. Red Wings a great opportunity to open up a lead. They already lead 3-2. Breaking ball in there for strike 1, and Nick Carnavelli, who is 2 for 2 already at the plate tonight, will try to bring in some runs with the bases loaded. Here's the 0-1. In dirt, Hernandez off the chest and keeps it in front of him. Second error of the night for Newark. We're not giving an error now, so it's not an error. Riley gets a hit. And with the bases loaded, Carnavelli behind in the count 1-2. Marketzel with a breaking ball off the bottom of the barrel from Carnavelli as he stays alive. Carnavelli hasn't really liked that breaking ball. He hasn't gone around on it in the first 2 times he saw it. And now he's just able to fight it off barely from Marketzel and keep the count at 1-2. 1-2 in on the hands, and Carnavelli off the top of the bat is able to foul it off again and stay alive. Carnavelli hitting .329 on the season. Has 14 RBIs to this point. Another 1-2 from Marketzel. Hit down to the shortstop, Kent. Could be double play ball. DeSantolo over to first. And that's a great play as the Red Wings get one as Gillis comes home to score. But double play ball. And there's 2 gone now here in the top of the 4th with 1 runner over at third now. Marketzel will take that all day as Carnavelli grounds into the double play ball. So with 2 gone, a 4-2 Red Wings lead. Murray sends one into right, but a good play by the second baseman. DeSantolo retires this side, and so the Red Wings somewhat squander an opportunity to really open up a big lead. They do get 1 run. They strand 1 as well, and they lead 4-2 as we head to home side of the 4th here at Colburn Park.
Murphy.
Bottom of the 4th here at Colburn Park. Red Wings get a run, and they lead 4-2 as Sasaki continues on the mound, his 4th inning of work, and he's got to deal with Alan Murphy to lead things off. As Murphy looks at strike 1 on the outside corner. Murphy hitting .398 on the season, has 31 RBIs and 33 hits in 83 at-bats. He's heading to the All-Star game, and for good reason. He chops this one foul right in front of home plate. That one looked to skip off his leg, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Murphy, who has also appeared 5 times on the mound this year for the Pilots, hits this one into center. It's high in the air, and underneath it is Harris, and he's able to make the play for out number 1.
Now batting out of Shawnee, Kansas. Number 21, right fielder, Griffin Robinson.
Griffin Robinson, the right fielder, was able to reach as he was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning. And he comes to the plate after the Alan Murphy flyout, as there's 1 gone now here in the bottom half of the 4th. Breaking ball misses low from Sasaki. Sasaki, as we mentioned, had a .434 ERA in his freshman year at UC Davis. This one grounded down to Murray. It's short. He's able to field it, and the throw over to first in time for out number 2. Hernandez grounded into a double play his first time up. He will come back to the plate. Suzuki had 33 strikeouts and gave up 37 earned runs in just over 76 innings pitched with UC Davis. Pretty impressive as a freshman to see him appear in 13 games. Started 13 games, appeared in 16 overall. Hernandez flies one out to right. Riley underneath it. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Suzuki here in the bottom half of the fourth, and the Red Wings lead 4-2 as we head to the fifth here at Colburn Park. A quick 1-2-3 inning from Jared Suzuki sends us to the top of the fifth here at Colburn Park. As I'm Dan Cooter, welcoming you back in here on Newark Pilots TV. Ryan Marketel will start his fifth inning of work. He's given up 8 hits and 4 earned runs as the Red Wings lead the Pilots 4-2. Grady Wright has the only run of the game for the Pilots, or pardon me, he has one of the 2 runs for the Pilots. He had a solo home run back in the second inning. As this one is hit high in the air by Miller. Tracking it is Bailey in center, and he's underneath it and is able to make the catch for out number 1. Tanner Murray was able to add a 2-run home run to left field as it smacked off the scoreboard. It was his 3rd home run of the season, and it put the Red Wings up 3-1. They lead 4-2 now as there's 1 gone in the top of the 5th. And Nick Nebraska, who has an RBI in the evening, struck out back in the 3rd inning. And he is at the plate now. Ball 1 as Ryan Marketel misses. Marketel really got some infield with a couple of plays. Breaking balls, it's just side. 2-0 count on Nebraska now. And this is in the 3rd. The starts right up straight and one gets to Hernandez. And it's a 3-0 count to the first baseman who plays at Youngstown State. Marketel able to toss in a strike and gets the count to 3-1 on Nick Nebraska now. Breaking ball. McLaughlin calls it a strike as it looked to be a tad inside, and Nick Nebraska thought so as well, but it pushes the count full. Payoff from Marketel now. Nebraska chops it foul off the bottom of the bat. Still a 3-2 count to Nebraska. There's another payoff. This one's inside, and it's called the ball this time as Nebraska gets the free pass down to first.
Now batting out of Watsonville, California, number 20, center fielder Jack Harris.
He was walked back in the third inning. Takes a swing at the first pitch he sees and sends it foul right behind home plate as Hernandez tosses back to Marketel. And strike one to the center fielder, Jack Harris from Watsonville, California. This one hit to left. Tadlock is able to get underneath it. And there's two gone as Nebraska stays put on first.
Now batting out of Lafayette, California, number 13, designated hitter Austin Jackson.
The DH, Austin Jackson, back at the plate. He grounded out back in the third inning. Was able to reach on a walk in his first plate appearance. Looks at strike two and a breaking ball here from Marketel. Jackson takes a swing at this one and sends it foul behind home plate, and so he's quickly behind 0-2. Austin Jackson hitting .297, his 14th appearance of the year with Geneva. Has 3 RBIs. Chops at this one. It's off the dirt and foul. So he stays alive. Count remains at 0-2. Two gone here in the top of the fifth. A 4-2 Geneva Red Wings lead over the Pilots. They're out hitting the Pilots 8-3. Just haven't been able to bring home more runs. Another 0-2 here from Marketel. Jackson fights it off and sends it into center. It's right at Dawson Bailey, and he's able to make the catch. And the Red Wings strand one off the walk here in the top of the fifth. They still lead 4-2 as we head to the home side here at Colburn Park. Seven, 8, 9 hitters here for the Pilots in the bottom half of the fifth. They trail the Red Wings 4-2, and it's Grady Wright who had a solo home run in his first plate appearance who will lead things off. He hits one down the first baseline, but just foul, and it'll be strike one of the first baseman from Fayetteville, Tennessee. Pilots making their second trip through the order. Red Wings are almost through their third already. Wright smacks one to right, and he's got himself a base hit as it sneaks past this second baseman, Carnavelli, and Wright is 2 for 2 in the evening as the leadoff man is aboard here in the bottom half of the fifth.
Now batting out of Gordonsville, Virginia, number 8, shortstop Nick Kentz.
So the leadoff single by Wright could maybe kickstart a Good inning here for the Pilots in the bottom half of the fifth as they trail 4-2. So fourth hit of the evening for Newark. As Kent sends this one foul to the right. It's going to head into the Pilots bullpen. And it'll be strike one of the shortstop, Nick Kent from Gordonsville, Virginia. So after the 1-2-3 inning from Suzuki, Grady Wright able to figure out for the second straight time. This one into the hands. Kent sends it down to Murray. Murray, oh, he bobbled that one. As Murray jumped up in the air and wanted to throw it, but didn't have the ball appeared. And so Nick Kent is safe, and it's going to be charged as an E6 to Tanner Murray. Second error of the game for Geneva, and there's runners on first and second now with none gone. Giovanni Torres had that great at-bat back in the third inning and was able to get a single and would come around to score. That was back in the bottom half of the third. Torres hits this one to right. It's a blooper. Chasing it back as Carnavelli looking over his shoulder, and it's going to drop in. And the runners advance. As you could tell, there was danger coming on that one as Carnavelli kept looking back and couldn't find the ball, and it drops in for a base hit. And with the bases loaded, Pilots head to the top of the order. A storm brewing here for Suzuki, and with none gone in the bottom half of the fifth, an error and a ball that just dropped over the second baseman's head. Nick Carnavelli sends the Pilots to the top of the order with Parker Tadlock looking for his first hit of the game. He had an RBI sac fly back in the third inning, then brought Torres to score. He takes a swing at the first pitch he sees and fouls it off into the stands for strike one. Who's Torres at 2 for 2 in the evening with a pair of singles to his name now. 0-1 count here to Tadlock. Breaking ball right in there for a strike two, as I would assume Tadlock just didn't want to go around on it, but it falls in there for a strike two. And Tadlock is behind in the count, 0-2 now. Suzuki with the 0-2, breaking ball, chop foul down the third baseline. As Tadlock able to stay alive. Tadlock, as we mentioned, heading to the All-Star game next Wednesday. And for good reason, batting .406 on the season. Another 0-2 here from Suzuki. That one's high and over the head of Tadlock, as Miller had to stand up to grab that one. It's ball one to the left fielder from Georgetown, Texas. Plays at Angelo State. And now here's the 1-2. Breaking ball hit to center by Tadlock. Right there to make the play is Harris. Right thought about tagging, but he'll hold up. And the bases will remain loaded with one gone now. The fly out from Tadlock just didn't get into center enough. Combine that with the speed of Grady Wright, or non-speed, to put it frank. He stays put at third. The bases remain loaded with one gone now. Here in the bottom of the fifth, Red Wings lead the Pilots 4-2 for the time being. It's Dawson Bailey at the plate, who is 0 for 2. Breaking ball falls in for strike one from Jared Suzuki, the right-hander from Huntington Beach, California. Plays his college baseball at UC Davis. As you mentioned, his first start of the year with the Red Wings, as he was recently signed with the team. This one inside, and it just missed the elbow of Bailey. Suzuki wants to avoid that with the bases loaded. Bailey, this one in the hands, over the head of Carnavelli, and it's going to bring in a run. Wright will come home to score. Kent will pull into third, and the bases remain loaded.
Now batting, Tampa, Florida, number 31, second baseman, Jared DeSantolo.
Dawson Bailey picks up the RBI, and that's a similar hit that Giovanni Torres had. So 2 tough plays for the second baseman, Nick Carnavelli, and they don't drop in his way. And it's a 4-3 ball game with the bases still loaded, and Jared DeSantolo at the plate now. DeSantolo was swinging a miss for strike 1 as Sasaki gets him to wave at the breaking ball. Oh, 0-1 count to the FAU Tampa, Florida native. Breaking ball falls low for ball 1. Evens the count up at 1-1 to DeSantolo. Nick Kent over at third. Looming with a 1-1 count to DeSantolo. This one hit down the right field line. Are able to ground it and make the play over to first is Carnavelli for out number 2, but Kent comes home to score, and this game is tied at 4.
Now batting, out of Richburg, New York, number 10, designated hitter, Alan Murphy.
So 2 gone, runners on second and third, and Alan Murphy comes back to the plate. He sits with 31 RBIs in the year. He was named player of the night last night as he had 4 more RBIs. As he was 3 for 5, had that big home run in the top of the 9th. And this one's in the dirt, but Miller keeps it in front of him, and the runners stay squared at second and third. Murphy looks at a strike on the inside corner from Sasaki, and it evens the count up at 1-1. Alan Murphy, as we mentioned, hitting .398 on the season. As on a 4-game, Murphy, 3 hits, 4 hits, and 3 hits in his past 3 games. You could say he's a little hot at the plate. But he is 0 for 2 in the evening, and he'll try to stay alive with the 1-2 count. This one chopped to the second baseman, Carnavelli, able to field it and make the play over to first. So Sasaki limits the damage as 2 runs come home to score, and the Pilots strand 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. But it's a tie ball game at 4 as we head to the top of the 6th here on NewarkPilots.tv. Dan Cooter here on Newark Pilots TV as we welcome you back into Colburn Park. Ryan Marketel, the right-hander from Webster, New York, will start his 6th inning of work on the mound for the Pilots. He was able to get some run support in the bottom of the fifth. 2 more for the Pilots, and we're all tied at 4. Red Wings out hitting the Pilots 8-6 as Marketel tosses in strike 1 to left fielder Jared Gillis. Gillis from Smyrna, Delaware, plays at Delaware State. It's the 7-8-9 hitters for Geneva. Marketel misses low and in the dirt with this one, so it's a 1-1 count to Gillis. Gillis hits one hard into center, lined back at the wall, and it's off of it. Bailey trying to track it down, able to make the relay and holds it second, but it's a leadoff double for Jared Gillis here in the top of the 6th. That one was drilled into left center as Bailey not able to make the play. Gillis 2 for 3 on the evening now. So the leadoff double brings Justin Barr, the third baseman, who I've been told is also from Georgetown, Texas. And he hits this one to the right. Robinson, it's going to drop in front of him, and then he loses track of it, and it gets behind him. They're going to wave Gillis home, and Gillis will easily score. Barr charging for 3, and he's in there with a triple. It probably will be ruled as a double with an error charged to Griffin Robinson, but the Red Wings are back on top, as it'll be an RBI for Justin Barr. So Griffin Robinson, that one seemed to catch a funny hop in the grass out there in right field, and it got behind him, and Jared Gillis rounded third and came home to score. Justin Barr will pick up the RBI, and with the error is able to get all the way to third. Still none gone here in the top of the 6th. Bottom of the order now with Trustin Riley, who is 1 for 2, was able to get on after he laid down the bunt back in the 4th inning. This one catches a lower half of the plate for strike 1, as it's a 2-1 count to the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania native who plays at Tampa University. In the dirt from Marketel as Hernandez pops up to keep it in front of him. It's a 3-1 count to Riley with Barr over at third. So Red Wings finally cash in on the leadoff double here from Gillis. So it's ball 4 outside for Marketel. And with none gone, there's runners at the corners after the walk. And now a visit here for Ryan Marketel with action in the Pilots bullpen. It's a 5-4 Red Wings lead. Marketel has given up 10 hits, 2 errors for the Pilots, and 1 for the Red Wings. It's been a back-and-forth game here at Colburn Park tonight. The Red Wings were able to jump out to a 1-0 lead back in the top of the 1st. Pilots would respond with the Grady Wright solo home run to tie us at 1, but Santa Murray returned the favor with a 2-run shot to left. That gave the Red Wings a 3-1 lead. They've traded runs ever since then, with the latest coming just a moment ago with Justin Barr smacking one to right and Jared Gillis coming home to score to give the Red Wings a 1-run advantage at 5-4. It's top of the order now after the walk, and now a bunt thrown down. The run will come home to score, and Carnavelli is going to be safe. And now we're going to have a discussion here with Connor McKenzie, as there's still none gone with Justin Barr coming home to score. Grady Wright pleading his case down at first. But the bunt by Nick Carnavelli is an RBI, and he is safe at first. So Barr comes home to score and give the Red Wings a 6-4 lead. And the hard-hitting Tanner Murray, who has a 2-run home run and lined out hard to the second baseman, D. Santolo, was last time up, is back to play. He'll show bunt as well, but a lay off as it's low from Marketel. See how long they let Marketel go here as we play on in the 6th inning. He still hasn't recorded the first out. And 2 runs have come home to score now for Geneva. Murray showing bunt all the way. Marketel will have to come down from the mound to make the play, and he's able to make it as the runners advance to second and third for the Red Wings now.
Number 18, the catcher, Zach Miller. Yes, 6 and 11.
So the sack bunt from Murray advances the runners. The catcher, Zach Miller, at the plate. He hits one to the gap and left, and more runs are going to come home to score. And it clears the bases as Riley and Carnavelli both come in. That's a pair of RBIs for Miller as the Red Wings have opened this game up now and have an 8-4 lead. And that'll do it for Ryan Marketel. So Marketel's evening is over. We'll get a new pitcher when we come back here for the Pilots. It'll be Zach Mann on the mound. It's an 8-4 ball game as the Red Wings have gotten 4 here in the top of the 6th as they lead the Pilots. So with a runner on second and the Red Wings up 8-4, Zach Mann takes over on the mound as Nick Nebraska is at the plate, and he looks at strike one from Mann. Miller picks up a pair of RBIs as he has 12 in the season now, extending that Red Wings lead. Nebraska holds off on a pitch low from Mann. It's an even count now at 1-1. 1-1 count as Mann checks on the runner at second, and now the delivery. In the dirt once again, and so it's 2 balls and 1 strike to the first baseman from Du Bois, Pennsylvania. Nebraska, way back in the first inning, brought home the first run of the game for Geneva as he has an RBI, was able to reach on a walk in the 5th inning. So 2-1. Misses low and away. But it's 3 straight balls from the right-hander from Union, Kentucky. So Marketell's outing ends abruptly after the big 4-run 6th inning. 3-1 count to Nebraska. 4 straight balls all low, and he walks Nebraska as there's still 1 gone.
Now batting out of Watsonville, North Carolina. Number 20, center fielder, Jack Harris.
Back-to-back walks drawn by Nick Nebraska. There's runners on first and second, and still 1 gone here in the top of the 6th. Red Wings out hitting the Pilots 10-6 now, and they lead 8-4. A big home and home as these 2 teams will face off at McDonough Park tomorrow night. And Pilots really in need of winning this one. Find themselves down by 4 runs. It's a 0-1 count to Harris, who was 0 for 2 in the evening. The 0-1 offering. It's a breaking ball that misses inside. A 1-1 count now to the center fielder, Harris. Big swing and a miss as he's behind 1-2 now. Zach Mann's job really just to try and keep this one in reach for the Pilots. They've been able to get some run support, so I wouldn't consider them out of this by any means, but they are down 8-4 now as the Red Wings have tacked on 4 runs here in the top of the 6th. Here's the 1-2 to Harris. It's off the end of the bat, and it'll go foul as Hernandez lost the mask for a second, hoping he could make a play on it, but it was well out of play. And it keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Harris. All started from the Jared Gillis leadoff double. Really kick things off in this inning for Geneva. Another 1-2. Just for Zach Mann, it's his 11th appearance, which leads the team on this Pilots pitching staff. 2-2 offering. Here's the throw down to second. Oh, and it just was a little high from Hernandez. Called the ball, and it moves the count full as Zach Mann is in danger of walking the bases loaded after walking his first batter, Nick Nebraska. Here's the payoff. It's in the dirt, and he walks him. And that is something Zach Mann has struggled with mightily this season. Just his command at certain times has gotten away from him, as he has walked 28 batters now this season. And that a team high by a good margin. So now with the bases loaded and still 1 gone, Mann misses with this one as it's the DH Austin Jackson at the plate. Jackson is 0 for 2, so he flew out back in the 5th inning. As the catcher, Alex Hernandez, will have a talk with his pitcher, Zach Mann. The crucial game between these 2 Western Division rivals, with the Red Wings holding down the 2nd place in the Western Division at 14-19. Pilots could close the gap here They are 11-19 on a 3-game winning streak, 5 for 5 in their last 10. 1-0 is inside for ball 2 to the DH Jackson. Here's the 2-0 now from Zach Mann. It's inside, and it's 3 straight balls, and Zach Mann has just got to figure out a way to throw a strike here with the bases loaded, in danger of walking in a run. Jackson will be laying off all the way. And it's on the inside corner for strike 1. So a 3-1 count to Jackson, and we'll see if he gets the green light. Bases loaded. Here's the 3-1. Swung on by Jackson. Hit in the left. Tadlock tracking. Able to make the catch. Now tagging is Miller. They'll try to go to second with it, though. And Miller comes home to score. So Parker Tadlock saw an opening at second to try and tag out Nick Nebraska, but could not do so. And Zach Miller comes home to score on the RBI sac fly from Austin Jackson. That extends the Red Wings lead to 5. It's a 9-4 ball game now. Nebraska at second, Harris at first, as they stayed put. And the Red Wings have batted around now here in the 6th, as it's Jared Gillis who led things off in this inning with the leadoff double. Pair of balls from Zach Mann as Hernandez could not find that one. But the runners stay put. It's a 5-run 6th inning now here for Geneva, as they lead 9-4. A 2-0 count to the left fielder, Jared Gillis. Swings on this one off the top of the bat and sent foul for strike 1. Gillis, as we mentioned, had that leadoff double. Also had a single back in the 4th. He's come around to score twice as well, so a big game for Gillis. He is 2 for 3 at the plate. Two-one count as Zach Mann waits for Gillis to stand in the box, and now we're ready to go. It's the right-hander who plays at Chattanooga State, just trying to get out of the inning with 2 gone now. Here's the 2-1 offering. Breaking ball hit by Gillis into right. Robinson handles it. Nebraska charging for home, and he'll be in there. And it's another run for the Red Wings. Make it 6 in the 6th now.
Now batting out of Pensacola, Florida, number 11, third baseman Justin Barr.
Nebraska comes to home to score, and it's an RBI for Jared Gillis, and he is 3 for 4 on the night. Runners at the corners, as there's still 2 gone now. This one hit into right. It's going to bring home another run. Gillis charging for 3. It's an RBI for Barr. And the Red Wings lead 11-4 now. Harris comes home to score. Gillis gets all the way down to third base. And it's now 7 runs, and Zach Mann's night is quickly over. Brandon Odenhall will try to get the Pilots out of the inning. The 3rd pitcher of the inning for Newark. And they trail 11-4. 7 runs here in the 6th inning, as Geneva starting to run away with it. We'll be right back here at Colburn Park. Pilots just trying to get out of this inning as the Red Wings bats have come alive. They've scored 7 runs here in the 6th inning, and they lead this game 11-4 as the sun sets here at Colburn Park. Brandon Odenhall will try to get him out of the inning. Trustin Riley is back at the plate. He was walked in this inning and came around to score as the Red Wings have batted around here. There's runners at the corner still for Geneva as Odenhall tosses in strike 1 and evens the count up at 1-1. Odenhall, the right-hander from Fenton, Missouri, sends this one to the gap as Riley. It'll fall. More runs come home to score. Gillis, for the 2nd time this evening, comes home to score. Barr will charge home. The throw at the plate. Safe. Now the throw down to third, and he drops the ball, and Riley's in there safe. And Torres is on all fours as he ran into Riley hard there. Torres back on one knee, seems to be okay, as he was hit hard from Riley at third, and it caused Torres to drop the ball. Torres trying to get his wits about him. It's 2 RBIs for Riley. And the Red Wings now lead this one 13-4. It's reminiscent of a game we saw the 4th meeting of this year at McDonough Park, where the Red Wings really ran away with it, winning 17-4 in that contest. As we mentioned, the teams have gone back and forth. They were tied 3 for 3 in the season. Red Wings are looking to pick up the first away win, between these two teams, as the trainer is checking out Giovanni Torres down at third. He is back to his feet now. We'll see if he stays in the game or not. He seems to be pleading his case. Him and Riley shake it out. And after all of that, there's still 2 gone. Riley clears the bases. And the Red Wings have tacked on 9 now here in the 6th inning. As the Pilots have just not been able to stop the bleeding, as the runs keep pouring in. It's the top of the order once again for the Red Wings, with Nick Carnavelli at an RBI as he was able to lay the bunt down and get safely to first in time here in the 6th inning, his last appearance at the plate. Odenhall misses low for ball 1. One 0 count as Carnavelli looks at one inside for Nick Carnavelli. Another strong night at the plate for him, as he is 3 for 4. Carnavelli, who plays at Brookdale from Lyndhurst, New Jersey, in the leadoff spot tonight for the Red Wings. Takes a cut and misses at this one for strike 1. Carnavelli is hitting .329 on the season. He's one of 4 players hitting over .300 on the season with the Red Wings. He has 14 RBIs and has come across to score 13 times for the Red Wings. A 3-1 count. Here's the offering. It's in there, and it pushes the count full. Odenhall making his 8th appearance on the mound, all in relief. Has a 5.4 ERA. Carnavelli chops one of the third baseman, Torres. He'll charge at it. The throw to first, and it's in time, and the inning finally comes to an end. It's 9 in the top of the 6th as the Red Wings blow this one opening. They lead 13-4 now. We head to the home side of the 6th here at Colburn Park. Brett Super will enter this game now for the Geneva Red Wings, and he's got quite the lead. A nice cushion as his Red Wings lead 13-4 behind a 9-run 6th inning. Blew this game open. Griffin Robinson leads things off as Super tosses in ball 1 upstairs. As we mentioned, we went back and forth in this one. It was a 5-4 ball game going into the 6th inning until the bats erupted for the Red Wings. Robinson hits one deep into the night sky and left, tracking it back as Gillis, and now coming over and making the play is the center fielder Harris as he called off Gillis and catches it for out number 1.
Number 6, the catcher, Alex Hernandez.
Alex Hernandez is 0 for 2. He grounded it with double play in the 2nd and then flew out in the 4th inning. Red Wings have compiled 15 hits in the game now to the Pilots 6. Ball 1 upstairs from Super. It's the 9th appearance of the year for Brett Super, who is from Newport Beach, California. He plays at Pomona Pitzer. And he stands at 5'11", 180 on the mound. Hernandez sends this one high in the air to the second baseman, Carnavelli. Takes a couple steps backward and is able to make the catch for out number 2.
Now batting on Fayetteville, Tennessee. Number 17, first baseman, Grady Wright.
Grady Wright is 2 for 2 in the evening. Had a home run in the 2nd inning. Looks to continue his success at the plate here tonight. As Super has a 2.57 ERA. It's his 3rd appearance against Newark. The last one coming in the 7-5 loss, in which he gave up 3 earned runs and 3 hits in 2 innings of work. It's ball 1 to the first baseman, Grady Wright. Swings on this one, sends it foul off to the left behind the Red Wings dugout. And it's a 1-1 count now. Super with the 1-1 offering. It's a breaking ball, and it falls in the outside corner for strike 2. Super has thrown 25 strikeouts and has walked 16 batters. This one is high. Super has pitched 21 innings of work and given up 11 hits. Wright able to foul this one off and stay alive as the count is at 2-2. The shift on here for Geneva is Tanner Murray, the shortstop, playing right of the second bag. As the third baseman, Justin Barr, is the sole soldier over there on the left side. Another 2-2 count here. Super with the offering. And it's a foul tip right into the glove, and it's a strikeout and a 1-2-3 inning for Super. A 13-4 Red Wings lead as they have blown this one open. We head to the 7th here at Colburn Park. Top of the 7th now at Colburn Park. Dan Cooter welcoming you back in. And the Red Wings can sit back, put their feet up. They lead 13-4. Murray will lead things off, the shortstop tonight, and he sends one in the left on the first pitch he sees. Tadlock tracking it back. It's going to hit the wall. Murray into second. He's going to charge for 3, and there won't even be a throw, and it's a leadoff triple for Murray here in the top of the 7th. I'll tell you what, I've been impressed with the bat of Tanner Murray tonight. He had a fly out to the second baseman that was an absolute dinger, and then had a home run to left that was an absolute dinger. It caught the scoreboard as it exited by a good 10 feet or so. And he has a leadoff triple standing up. And now Miller sends one right in front of us to the backstop for a foul ball. He had RBI double, brought a pair of runs around in the 6th inning. To be quite honest, I think every single Red Wing had a hit in the 6th inning. They've compiled 16 now after the triple from Tanner Murray. Odenhall ready with the 0-2 to Miller now. It's high, and it's ball 1. As we mentioned, these two teams hook up tomorrow at McDonough Park for the back end of a home-and-home. It would be a big pair of wins for the Red Wings, as it's in the dirt, and Hernandez is able to keep it in front of him. And something you have to remember, the Pilots with an excellent opportunity to really get back in this division, but it can go one of two ways. And if they play like this, it's going to go the bad way as they face Elmira, Jamestown, and Geneva the rest of the calendar season in July after the doubleheader against Elmira on Monday. It's all divisional matchups. As Miller hits this one off the ground to the shortstop, Kent. A run will come home to score as the flip over to first is in time for out number one. But Murray touches home plate to extend the Red Wings lead. Fifth time through the order for the Red Wings. Pilots are still on their third time through, with Nick Kent due up in the bottom half of the seventh. It's a 14-4 Red Wings lead now. Nick Nebraska at the plate, and Odenhall tosses one right past the glove of Hernandez for ball one. It's going to take a 9-run inning like the Red Wings have for the Pilots to really get back into this one. As Odenhall gets a fastball to connect on the outside corner for strike one. Nebraska with an RBI in the night. Has been walked his last two plate appearances. Sends one to the gap in right, and he has himself a base hit. Past the second baseman, D. Santolo, in the 17th hit of the night for the Red Wings.
Center fielder, Jack Harris.
Jack Harris will come back to the plate. 0 for 2, has been able to reach on a walk twice tonight. This one high from Odenhall for ball one. One off the top of the bat and sent into the backstop from Jack Harris. The center fielder from Watsonville, California. 1-1 count with one gone here in the top of the seventh. It's a breaking ball. It's in the dirt. Nebraska, pardon me, will stay planted at first. So it's a 2-1 count to Harris now. Two-on count. Harris in front of this one. And it's a whiff that moves the count even at 2-2. Odenhall takes a peek over to first at Nick Nebraska. Now the 2-2. Swung on and missed. It's a strikeout for Brandon Odenhall.
Now batting out of Arcadia, California, number 13, designated hitter, Austin Jackson.
Austin Jackson, the DH, had a fly out, a sac fly that turned into an RBI for him back in the sixth inning. Hits this one right to the shortstop. Kent bobbles it for a minute. The play over to second in time, though. Red Wings stack on one more here in the seventh. We'll stretch it out at Kilburn Park. They lead the Pilots 14-4.
Number 8, shortstop, Nick Kent.
Brett Super will continue to pitch on the mound for the Red Wings as we head to the bottom of the 7th here at Colburn Park. It was a 9-run 6th inning in case you're just joining us. And it's a 14-4 lead for Geneva now. Only the real fans are watching now. That's what I like to hear. A 1-1 count to the shortstop, Nick Kent. He is 0 for 2 in the evening, but was able to reach on an error back in the 5th inning. This went high and inside for ball 2. For Brett Super, as we mentioned, his 3rd time facing this Pilots team. Goes with the breaking ball. Kent in front of it sends it down the 3rd baseline. And it moves the count to 2-2. In Super's first appearance way back at the beginning of the season on June 5th in the 6-5 win against the Pilots, pitched 2 scoreless innings, not giving up a single hit. Oh, and now a nasty breaking ball fools Nick Kent as he whiffs at strike 3.
Now batting out of North Haven, Connecticut, number 1, third baseman, Giovanni Torres.
Giovanni Torres will come up to bat. Seems to be okay after that collision with Trustin Riley at third base an inning ago. Torres is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles to his name. Red Wings have compiled 17 hits on 14 runs to this point in the game, as Super misses with ball 1 just low. We'll see if we get any substitutions from the Pilots side. As they're running out of outs here at Colburn Park with 1 gone to the bottom of the 7th. A bunch of runs needed to get back in this one. 2-0 outside corner painted by Brett Super for strike 1. A little outside. It's a 3-1 count for Torres now. Brett Super has a 1-1 record. Those 2 decisions coming in his last 2 appearances. He picked up the win against Jamestown as he tosses in a strike to get the count full here to Giovanni Torres. Super was superb in 5 innings of work at a 6-0 win against Jamestown. He didn't start the game, but he only gave up 1 hit, no earned runs, and walked 3 batters. He picked up the win. This one into the hands of Torres. Chopped the third baseman bar, and he comes to make the play. A good one at that. And there's 2 retired now.
Now batting out of Georgetown, Texas, number 2, left fielder, Parker Tadlock.
Superb. It was a superb play. Trying to work in some new adjectives, you know. I think this is a good time to try out some new things. You know, yeah. Maybe I'll try that. Top of the order with Parker Tadlock, who was 0 for 3 in the evening. Pair of balls outside. It's a 2-0 count to Tadlock. Three straight balls from Super, all in the same area. That's a 3-0 count to Tadlock. Parker Tadlock, as we mentioned, heading to that All-Star game next week in Elmira, New York. So he gets the free pass with 4 straight balls from Super.
Now batting out of Portland, New York, Number 11, center fielder Dawson Bailey.
Super will get a mound visit from his catcher, Zach Miller, as Dawson Bailey comes back to the plate. Bailey is 1 for 3, had an RBI single back in the 5th inning. Pilots and Red Wings traded punches early in this one, but the Red Wings delivered the knockout punch in the 6th inning. That was a good one. Come on, give it to me. Someone give it to me. Yeah. Come on, who wants to come over here and do an inning? Come on. I'll switch with you for an inning.
I'm not that good.
1-1 count to Bailey with Tadlock over on first. Big slider from Super comes around. Trent, was that a slider? What was that? Curveball. Okay, that was a curveball. You know, I never say what kind of pitch it is when it's a speeder because I can't tell the difference. I have a tough time. Okay. Okay. All right, I got the pitcher, Trent Baker, giving me the deets up here. Trent Baker's had the All-Star game as well. Excited for that, Trent. That'd be a good time. So it's fouled off by Bailey. Live. Count of 2. 2-2 count. Bailey hits one into the gap and left, and it's going to fall against the wall. Tadlock hustling hard. He comes to third. He's going to be waved home. Tadlock will come to score. Bailey charging for third. He's in there. RBI triple for Dawson Bailey. Little life from this Colburn Park crowd. And a run for the Pilots.
31, second baseman, Jared DeSantolo.
5th of the game, and it's a 14-5 ball game. Second RBI of the game for Dawson Bailey. It was a laser beam. Laser beam into left. Second baseman Jared DeSantolo will come to the plate now. A sacrifice RBI back in the 5th inning. With Bailey over on third after the RBI triple. Pilots will try to tack on another run. DeSantolo will foul this one off for strike 1. One count. Brett Super looking for the final out of the inning. Goes with the curveball. Chopped up the middle. Murray with the play from short. A beautiful one at that. And he gets the out and ends the inning. Pilots get 1 in the 7th. They still trail 14-5 as we head to the 8th here at Colburn Park.
Now going to the top.
Top of the eighth, Brandon Odenhall continues on the mound for the Pilots, and Jared Gillis, who has had himself quite the evening, is 3 for 4 and had an RBI back in the 6th inning. He'll lead things off in the top of the 8th with his Red Wings comfortably in front 14-5. They're out hitting the Pilots 17-7. 2 errors for the Red Wings and 1 for the Pilots. A 2-0 count. Odenhall starts him off with a pair of balls. And now 3 as this one's high and tight. Gillis gets out of the way of that one. It's a 3-0 count to the left fielder, who plays at Delaware State. Odenhall with the 3-0. Gets the fall in the outside corner and moves the count to 3-1. As we mentioned, Pilots head on the road to take on Geneva at McDonough Park tomorrow before returning home on Monday for a doubleheader with the Albany Dutchmen, a game that was scheduled for a while ago. It was rained out. This one in foul territory. Grady Wright, the first baseman, back there against the fence, is able to make the catch for out number 1.
Now batting out of Pensacola, Florida, number 11, third baseman, Justin Barr.
Movie night here at Colburn Park. Nice movie after the game. I don't think I'll be sticking around. I got to commute home. I got to get home. Big hour drive of me trying to swerve deer the whole way home. That's pretty much what it is. Rochester, New York. It's like about an hour away from here. What's that? I'm from the west side. I was about a half hour late to the game today because there was an accident on the thruway. Like a tractor trailer lost, like it's had like one of those oversized loads, and the whole thing fell off and crashed against the bridge. It was unbelievable. Well, I mean, it's 14-5. Trying to keep the folks entertained. Now, was that a slider or a curveball? I looked a little slow. Curveball, yeah. Now, primarily, what did people go? Fastball, slider is usually what people's command. Everyone throws a fastball and a slider. Barch drops one of the second baseman, and the play to first for the second out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And when you get up into the higher ranks, the really good pitchers can throw sliders like upwards of like what, 90, right? Yeah. Yeah. I noticed that he throws a lot of off speed compared to compared to a lot of the other pitchers. And there's pitchers like Wynn. You're doing a great job. Wynn throws like, when he throws it off speed, he throws it like sidearmed, which is, yeah. This one's chopped down to DeSantolo again. He bobbles it. The play, the flip, and he's out. 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the 8th. 14-5. Red Wings still lead. Out of the home side. Pilots try to get something going.
The Red Wings are still ahead with 14 runs.
Yeah. Steve Larson will take over on the mound now for the Red Wings, and Alan Murphy will lead off the inning. And Alan Murphy, who is listed as a pitcher on the roster, leads the team in RBIs with 31. Big cut and a miss at this one as he's quickly behind 0-2. Murphy, an off day at the plate for him as he is 0 for 3. It's a 14-5 Red Wings lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Murphy heads one to right and is in there with a base hit. I find that incredible that he's able to hit that when it was so low to the ground. And he was able to send it in the right.
Number 21, right fielder, Griffin Robinson.
And Murphy is aboard here to lead on the bottom of the 8th. Steve Larson, the right-hander, stands at 5'9", 155 on the mound. He's from Windsor, Colorado, and he plays at Iowa Wesleyan. Now, Iowa Wesleyan is a private 4-year liberal arts college in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. It was founded in 1842, and it ranks as Iowa's first co-educational institution of higher learning and the oldest type in the west of the Mississippi River. That's pretty incredible. Robinson chops one down the third baseline. Barr was about to make the Jeter-like play, but it goes foul. And so it's strike one to Griffin Robinson, who is from Shawnee, Kansas. Now, I've never heard of Shawnee, Kansas before. Miller will make a trip out to the mound here. Shawnee, Kansas is in Topeka, Kansas. So it's a suburb of the city of Topeka. Oh, got a phone call. Can't take that. Oh, 1 count, right? 0-1 count to Robinson. He's got Murphy over on first after the leadoff single to start things off. This one low. And it evens the count up at 1-1. For Steve Larson, it's his 8th appearance, all in relief on the mound. Has a 3.95 ERA and 13 2/3 innings of work with the Red Wings. There's the 1-1. Swung off the end of the bat by Robinson as Larson gets ahead of the count now 1-2. Larson's last appearance was back on July 7th at Saugerties in a 6-4 loss. He pitched 2 innings and gave up 2 hits, no earned runs. He looks to retire Robinson here for the first out of the 8th inning. That looked like a curveball to me. A curveball inside. You know what I need to do? I go down to the bullpens, just say, hey, what's your command? Just write them all down. Write every single one down. 2-2 count. That's a fastball, and it's inside in the hands and popped up into the Pilots' dugout. They scatter, and now Nebraska makes the play as it stayed out of the dugout. And Robinson is retired after the fly out into foul territory.
Now batting out of Pembroke Pines, Florida, number 6, the catcher, Alex Hernandez.
Hernandez is 0 for 3. He'll come back to the plate as Murphy is kept over at first after the fly out. Caught in foul territory by out in front of that one. Now, Alex Hernandez plays at a Division II college, Nova Southeastern. He's from that area in Pembroke Pines, Florida. A 1-1 count to Alex Hernandez. It's the 3rd time Steve Larson has appeared against the Pilots. Last time was in a 7-5 loss here at Colburn Park. Ooh, a swing and a miss. That was a curveball, yeah. That was a good one from Larson as Hernandez was out in front of it. And he's behind in the count 1-2. This one misses in the dirt from Larson, and it evens the count up at 2-2. You know what I really want? I want them to do a game like after the season ends, a pickup game, and I want to stand in the batter's box just for an at-bat and see if I can make contact on a pitch. I used to play when I was younger. Oh, I was absolutely brutal. I would just bunt my way on. That was the only way I could get on. Yeah. Yeah. Just jump in front of it. Yeah. It's a full count now to Hernandez after Larson misses again. 3-2. Catches the outside corner as Hernandez looks at strike 3.
Now batting out of Fayetteville, Tennessee. Number 17, first baseman, Grady Wright.
Alan Murphy still on first after his leadoff single. And Grady Wright comes back to the plate. Struck out on a foul tip. His last plate appearance. Has a home run tonight. His first as a Pilot. Grady Wright, who is from Fayetteville, Tennessee. I mispronounced his hometown the first time. First game of the year, called it Fayetteville. Just a little off. This one misses outside from Larson for ball 1. Another ball here from Larson. This is a 2-0 count to the first baseman, Wright. Two gone here in the bottom half of the 8th. Red Wings up 14-5. Here's a fastball by Wright, and he sends it into center, and he's going to have himself a base hit. Alan Murphy will hold at second. It's a 2-out single from Grady Wright as it gets over the head of the shortstop, Tanner Murray. He's got some hops. He almost came down with that one, but just a little too high for him, and it brings Nick Kent to the plate. Three for 4 on the night is Grady Wright now. Pair of singles and a solo home run. So with 2 gone, runners on first and second. Larson goes with the curveball and misses outside for ball 1. Nick Kent, who is from Gordonsville, Virginia, is 0 for 3 in the evening with a pair of strikeouts. He hits one into center. It'll fall. Murphy will round, and he will come home to score. It's an RBI for Nick Kent. It's a 14-6 game now.
Now batting out of Newark, Connecticut. Number 1, third baseman, Giovanni Torres.
First hit of the evening for Nick Kent. And we'll get a mound visit to Steve Larson here. So Nick Kent gets the 2-out RBI single. That brings Alan Murphy around to score. Pilots stack on another run, but they still trail 14-6. It was a 9-run 6th inning that really sparked the Red Wings' lead. They were up 5-4 going into the inning. And they've been ahead by a sizable margin ever since. Pilots have gotten one back in the 7th and now the 8th innings. And Giovanni Torres is at the plate. He is 2 for 3 in the evening. Steve Larson ready to go on the mound after the visit from Zach Miller. Larson catches the inside corner for strike one to Torres. Fastball just outside from Larson. As the two teams have come together and put 27 hits on the board, 17 for the Red Wings and 10 for the Pilots. This one in the dirt. Miller down on his knees, keeps it in front of him. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to the third baseman from North Haven, Connecticut. Trying to extend the inning here for the Pilots with runners on first and second. 2-1 offering. Swung on by Torres, hit into right, but it's hard at Harris, and he's able to make the catch for out number 3. Pilots get one back, but it's just a little too far out of reach as it's 14-6. We'll head to the final inning when we come back. (14-6) ball game here at Colburn Park. Red Wings on top of the Pilots. Last inning of play here tonight, and it's top of the order for the Red Wings with Nick Carnavelli. So it's strike one from Brandon Odenhall, who continues on the mound for Newark. Carnavelli with an RBI on the night. It's a pair of strikes from Odenhall. It'll be the top of the order for Newark when we head to the bottom half of the ninth. Disappointing night for Newark, who came in with a 3-game winning streak and really would have loved to continue it here as they play an interdivision game against the Red Wings. Now, Tanner Murray will have a chance to hit for the cycle when he comes up next. He will need a double. The 1-2 count to Carnavelli. And he's able to lay off on this one high and inside. Evens the count up at 2-2. (2-2) chopped off a home plate and will fall foul. Keeps the count at 2-2. Odenhall, who we mentioned, is from Fenton, Missouri. He plays at Maryville. A 2-2 count to Carnavelli. It's high, and it pushes the count full. Maryville University is a college located in St. Louis, Missouri. In case you were wondering. I didn't know that. It's Carnavelli. This one off the end of the bat and sent foul, and it keeps the count full. What's that? Yeah. So 3-2 here from Odenhall now. And it's high for ball 4. So a leadoff walk for Nick Carnavelli brings Tanner Murray to the plate. You think he knows that he needs a double for the cycle? He definitely knows that, right? He has been hitting the ball pretty good tonight. From Ben Lamont, California. He plays at UC Davis. Look for the cycle here. He needs a double against Odenhall. Takes a swing at this one. He sends it right up the middle. It could be a double play ball. And it will be. And it's a double play. And there's quickly 2 gone now.
Now batting out of Lincoln University, Pennsylvania. Number 18, the catcher, Zach Miller.
He swung at it. Swung at the first pitch fastball. But grounded it right into a double play.
He's been up 5 times or 6 times in 8 pitches.
Two outs now with Zach Miller back at the plate. Chops this one right to Torres. He'll charge at it, field it, and make the play over to third. And so Odenhall keeps it clean at the top of the 9th. Pilots are going to need a rally and a half when we head to the bottom half. 14-6, Red Wings lead.
Left fielder, Parker Tadlock.
Just go through it. Don't apologize.
Grant Jebbia gets a chance here to come on the mound for the Red Wings and close this one out in a non-save situation. Red Wings lead the Pilots 14-6. It's the top of the order for the Pilots with Parker Tadlock leading things off. Looking for his first hit of the evening, trying to extend that 4-game hit streak. Grant Gebbia, the right-hander from Monroe, Michigan. He did make a start way back on June 5th against Newark, and a 6-5 win. He pitched 3 innings and gave up 5 earned runs on 5 hits. Gebbia, who pitches at Saginaw Valley State, has a 16 ERA, so he's trying to lower that tonight. He misses outside. Now for Gebbia, obviously trying to earn the trust of his coaches in this non-save situation, a great opportunity for him to cash in on a quick 1-2-3 inning. It's a 2-2 count to Tadlock. The Red Wings out hitting the Pilots 17-10. 9 runs back in the 6th. Really opened this game up. That one in there for strike 3 as Tadlock looks at it.
Now batting out of Reynoldsburg, Ohio, number 19, center fielder, Rick Phillips.
New hitter here in the second spot. It's Ricky Phillips who will come to the plate. One outside from Gebbia to start him off. Gebbia's last appearance was on July 10th at Elmira in a 6-2 loss. He pitched 2 innings of work and gave up 3 earned runs. A fastball in there for a strike 1. It's a 1-1 count to Ricky Phillips from Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Plays at Notre Dame College. Phillips looks at a ball low. 2-2 count. 2-1 count, pardon me. Phillips catches one on the top of the bat and fouls it off into the stands, and so the count evens up at 2-2. Gebbia stands at 6'3", 206 pounds exactly on the mound. 206. Two count for Phillips with 1 gone here in the bottom of the 9th. That was a slider. The slider misses low, and that pushes the count full. Just payoff now from Gebbia. Swung on and fouled off again by Phillips. It keeps the count full. As we mentioned, these two teams hook up tomorrow night at McDonough Park for a 7:05 first pitch. The back end of a home and home. And Phillips draws a 1-out walk.
Now batting out of Tampa, Florida, number 31, second baseman, Jared DeSantolo.
DeSantolo will come back to the plate now with Phillips down on first. Big swing and a miss to start off DeSantolo. It's the 13th walk of the season for Gebbia. He's now issued a walk in all 5 of his appearances. The 0-1. Oh, it hits him. As DeSantolo will jog it off as he heads down to first. So runners on first and second with Alan Murphy at the plate now.
Number 10, designated hitter, Alan Murphy.
Murphy able to keep his hit streak intact with the base hit his last time up. 5 games in a row now with a hit for Murphy. Trying to make it 5 in a row with multi-hits. This one inside as he sucks in the gut. Takes it for ball 1. Murphy with 5 home runs on the year. Fouls this one off, and it catches the pole on the backstop and comes right back to Gebbia on the mound. That ball can't be intact. Him and McLaughlin will exchange balls. Murphy, along with those 5 home runs, has added 9 doubles and 4 triples. 1-1 count after the foul. This one misses outside from Gebbia, and it's a 2-1 count. With 1 gone here in the bottom half of the 9th, it's a 14-6 Geneva Red Wings lead. Here's a 2-1. It misses high, and it's a hitter's count now for Murphy at 3-1. Gebbia struggled with his command in the start back at the beginning of the year against the Pilots as he issued 5 walks. Runners are going. Phillips takes off, and Murphy fouls it off. So Phillips will retreat to second after the foul ball. It's a full count to Murphy. So 3-2 off to stay alive. Murphy's only hit came on a pitch that was pretty low in the zone, and he was able to send it into right for a base hit. Seems to be able to hit from multiple parts of the plate. And the test to his .398 batting average. There's another 3-2. It's inside of the hands for ball 4, and the bases are loaded after the walk.
Now batting, Shawnee, Kansas, number 21, right fielder, Griffin Robinson.
So Gebbia walks Phillips, hits DeSantolo, and now walks Murphy, and the bases are loaded. Parker Tadlock's about to be kicking himself for looking at strike 3 as there's 1 gone. Griffin Robinson will come back to the plate. This one swung on and hit foul. It'll get out of play, and so it's a 1-1 count to the right fielder. Has 12 hits in 14 at-bats, batting .273 on the season. And a big game in that Jamestown victory. Ooh, as he's out in front of the curveball and is behind in the count 1-2. Robinson was 4 for 4 with a double and a triple in the 7-6 win, and we thought he had a walk-off home run that ended up hitting the wall. Ended up getting called at home on that play. I thought it. Yeah. 2-2 count to Robinson. Oh, he gets in front of this one. It bloops into left. Gillis can't get it, and a run will score. And it escapes Miller. DeSantolo takes a peek home, but he'll retreat. So the bases are still loaded, and good piece of at-bat there from Griffin Robinson as he fought that one off as it was a little outside, but got around on it, sent it into left. Red Wings still up by 7 as it's a 14-7 game now with bases still loaded and 1 gone. Alex Hernandez will come to the plate. Miller, a little insurance to Gebbia here, just a pat on the back. Remember, kid, you got a 7 run and cushion to work with, so wouldn't fret about it yet. Hernandez follows off the fastball on the first pitch he sees. Hernandez was batting .242 coming into the game tonight. Has 9 RBIs on the season. Gebbia misses with this one outside, and the count goes even at 1-1. Low from Gebbia. And 2 balls and 1 strike to the catcher from Pembroke Pines, Florida. 11 hits now in the evening after the RBI single from Griffin Robinson. Hernandez sends this one foul down the third baseline into the Red Wings bullpen. And a 2-2 count now. Gebbia looking for the second out of the inning. With the base loaded for the Pilots, they've gotten a run in each of the last 3 innings, but obviously hasn't been anywhere close to enough as they still trail 14-7. Here's the 2-2 from Gebbia. That was a slider that was outside and low, and Hernandez was able to hold off on it. I do a lot better when it's the other way around. I'm watching on the TV, and I got a strike zone to work with, on ESPN. That's nice. I like that. There's the 3-2, fouled off by Hernandez. My dad asked me when I first started, he's like, how are you going to know it's a ball and a strike? You're not watching ESPN. You're not going to be able to see them. Yeah, exactly. Another payoff here from Jeb now. Swung on. Down to the shortstop, Murray. He's got no play, and another run comes home to score. All of Murray's momentum was dragging him towards the third baseline, and Murphy had already taken off. And it's going to warrant a visit out to the mound from Gebbia, as Pilots have gotten 2 back here in the bottom of the 9th. They've made it a respectable game now at 14-8. And there's 1 gone, and Grady Wright is at the plate, and he already has a home run tonight and has looked pretty solid in his 4 plate appearances, as he is 3 for 4.
One base at a time.
So with 1 gone, a visit here from the infield of Geneva.
Hey, boy.
12th hit of the evening. That's Joey Haas. He's been there. He's been their gem this year, from what I've looked at. He's appeared in 11 games and has given up 1 earned run and 5 hits. So, not bad. Grady Wright ready to go, and he swings at the first pitch he sees and fouls it off for strike 1. Bases loaded still for the Pilots with 1 gone, 0-1 count to Wright now. Inside, but it falls. McLaughlin calls for strike 2, and Wright is quickly behind 0-2. Wright leads the team in strikeouts with 26 on the year. Here's the 0-2. It's in the dirt, and it gets by. Murphy hustling home. He'll come in to score, and it's another run for the Pilots. It's a 14-9 game now. As the wild pitch from Gebbia brings home Alan Murphy, and it's a 14-9 game now. False hope. Yet to be determined. 1-2 count now to Wright. Outside as he looks at ball 2. And the count evens up at 2-2. There's the 2-2 from Gebbia. It's high, and it's full count now. So now the payoff pitch. Inside, and the bases are loaded again with the walk. And there's still one gone. And that's it for Gebbia. So Gebbia got his chance to try and close this game out, and he couldn't do so. And Joey Haas will come on now for the Red Wings. It's a 14-9 ball game. The Pilots have a couple more runs in them. They still trail by 5 here at Colburn Park. Three runs here in the bottom of the ninth, but the Pilots have made this one interesting as it's 14-9. Still a 5-run lead for the Red Wings, and Joey Haas has to come onto the mound now. As Gebbia was chased from the mound as he couldn't close things out. Bases loaded with one gone, and Nick Kent at the plate. And as we mentioned, Haas has been superior on that mound for the Red Wings this year. He makes his 12th appearance now on the season. Kent looks at strike one from the right-hander from Camden, Delaware. He plays at Delaware University, along with the catcher, Zach Miller. So obviously him and Haas pretty familiar with each other, which works as a pro for them too. That was a curveball that Nick Kent's whiffed at, and he's quickly behind 0-2 to Haas. Haas at .77 ERA is given a 1 earned run. And it came back in the Watertown win all the way back on June 29th. And Kent looks at strike 3. And there's quickly 2 gone now.
Now batting out of North Haven, Connecticut. Number 1, third baseman, Giovanni Torres.
And so with 2 gone, Torres is the last out. With the bases loaded still for the Pilots, they trail 14-9 here in the bottom half of the ninth. Haas, 11 2/3 innings coming in tonight. He only given up 5 hits. Slider misses outside. I saw him throw one curveball in warm up. Yeah. Seems to be a fastball and slider kind of guy. 1-0 count to Torres now. Goes with the fastball. Torres looks at it for strike 1. One count to Torres. It's a fastball and looked good, but just a little outside. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike to the third baseman, Torres, now. Griffin Robinson down on third. There's 2-1. Misses outside. And it's a 3-1 count now. Haas, in his 11 2/3 innings of work, has walked 4 batters and hasn't thrown more than 6 balls in any of his appearances. Torres looks at a strike from Haas, and the count runs full. Bases loaded with 2 gone. 5-run lead for the Red Wings. Haas, I would guarantee, goes to a fastball here. Keeps it simple. Here's 3-2. Torres looks at strike 3. And he can't believe it. Red Wings pick up the win 14-9 behind a 9-run 6th inning that propelled them to the victory. It's their 15th of the year. Pilots' 3-game win streak comes to a snap. And the Pilots will be back home for a doubleheader against the Albany Dutchmen right here at Colburn Park. And we'll see you then. Dan Cooter saying so long from Colburn Park. It's a 14-9 Geneva win. We'll see you next time here on Newark Pilots TV.